It's been a bumpy ride for the airline industry since the coronavirus pandemic hit the world. The industry's downturn dwarfs previous crises, says Carl Moore of McGill University.
We're looking at flights being down in the area of 90% less in March and April than they were the year before. So it's a time of enormous crisis, and there are hundreds of thousands of people who work in the airline industry. And when you think of the allied industries of travel, of hotels, it's millions of Americans in these industries.
Nearly 5 million air transport jobs globally are at risk, according to estimates by the Air Transport Action Group. Earlier this year, U.S. airline companies received billions in the form of cash and loans that helped keep them afloat. The hope was that the virus would have subsided by now. It hasn't.
And what we've seen is domestic travel in the U.S. has gone up some, but international travel is down horrifically, and even domestic travel is not anywhere near what it was last year. So we have the ongoing crisis. We have maybe a second wave, certainly a lot more people getting sick than we had hoped at this time of year. So it's a thing where the industry's troubles have gone beyond 6 or 7 months and will go on for some months and perhaps a couple of years to come.
Negotiations between Congress and the White House on the new aid package continue, with few signs that an agreement will be reached soon. This has led airlines to cut jobs, offer early retirement, and take other cost-cutting measures. But some experts note that with airlines raking in profits over the last decade, they could have made better decisions, even though they could not foresee the pandemic.
In the last few years prior to COVID, this industry paid really huge amount of dividends to the shareholders, as well as stock repurchase, which is equivalent to a dividend. You get the stock back and pay them out. Basically, they left with very little cash.
Israel Shaked, in a recent article, argues that decisions made last year by the airlines were short-sighted.
If you take a look at 2019, for example, this industry paid itself, and I talk only about the American, United, Southwest, Alaska, and JetBlue, just these five, and Delta. They paid out dividends of $1.7 billion and a stock repurchase of $7.4 billion. If you combine these two, you talk about almost like $7, $8, $9 billion in 1 year out of the company.
But for now, combined third-quarter losses for American, United, Delta, Southwest, and Alaska Air have exceeded $11.5 billion. Mariama Diallo, VOA News, Washington.